Now I will be discuss the motor program theory. So what is motor program theory? It's a prominent conceptual framework in motor control that attempts to explain how the brain plans, initiates, and controls scaled voluntary movements. It proposed that complex movements are not assembled by scratch each time they are performed, but rather are executed based pre-structured sets of commands stored in the brain, much like a computer program. So when we say motor program theory is a stored pre-structured set of motor commands that defines the essential details of skill movements. So dito nagpapakita yung mga iba-ibang nating skill movements sa theory na to, like sila yung nagko-command sa different skills natin or movements natin, and this is the independent of muscle used by the environment. It's like a central command system that dedicates the sequence, timing, and force of muscle constructions required for a specific action. So yun. So siya yung central command sa body movement natin or sa any environmental. So siya yung nagbibigay ng mga timing, yung mga force of muscles natin. So example of motor program theory is when we throwing a ball. So that is an example of motor theory because like dito natin pinapakita yung timing and specific time, lalo na yung while playing a baseball, kasi bago tayo magpalo ng bat sa ball is we need a timing or a specific time. So that's why the throwing of ball is under the motor theory program.
A motor program is an abstract representation of movement plan stored in memory. It contains the pre-organized set of motor commands required to carry out a specific action. Once retrieved and initiate, a motor program enables the body to perform complex movements with minimal conscious control. Examples of motor program: typings. Skilled typings don't consciously think about each keystroke. Their fingers move according to well-developed motor programs for common words or phrases. Sports movement. Actions like swinging a golf club or serving a tennis ball involve complex motor programs that athletes develop through practice. Everyday activities. Walking, writing, and even brushing teeth are examples of activities that rely on established motor programs.
Closed-loop control. Motor programs are considered open-loop control system, meaning they can be initiated and executed without relying on continuous sensory feedbacks during the movement. Example for open loop: a golfer swing which is often executed based on pre-programmed motor pattern, while the closed loop, a tennis player reaction to a serve which requires a real-time adjustment based on a sensory feedback. Open loop control: pre-programmed movement without continuous feedback. Closed loop control: feedback based on movement with real-time adjustment. These two systems differ in their reliance on sensory feedback and flexibility impact to motor learning, movement efficiency, and performance.
In motor program theory, a generalized motor program or GPS, these are abstract representation. So when we say abstract representation, it is a GMP doesn't specify to exact muscle to use precise timing for each movements, but rather the fundamental patterns or structures of a movement. For example, is a riding a bicycle. So, riding a bicycle, the rhythmic coordinations of pedaling, turning, and balancing adaptable to different terrains and speeds. Probably, generalized motor program is not specified, but rather it's different theories. Next is schema theory. So, schema theory, this theory suggests that we build up experiences to meet new demands, requiring practice and feedback to update motor program. So, there are two types of schema theory, were recall and recognition schemas. So, the first one is recall schemas. This schema relates the initial conditions movement parameter. So when we say movements parameter, it is the force or timing. And the desired parameter outcome. It is used to select the appropriate parameter for a movement. So the second is recognition schema. So this schema relates to the sensory consequences. So, in the movements perceptions to actual movements outcome. So, it helps to evaluate the correctness of a movement and make adjustables for a future attempts.
So let's move on. We have the system theory or the dynamic system theory. So system theory posits that movements arise from complex interaction between various body systems, the tasks at hand, and the environment, rather than being solely controlled by the nervous system. So, in summary, this definition explains that movements is not just about the brain. It challenges the idea that the nervous system alone dictates how we move. Next, it's about interaction. Instead, human movements is a result of constant complex interplay between various body systems like muscles, bones, nervous, sensory organs, and cardiovascular system. Next one is the task at hand, like what you are trying to achieve, like picking up a pen, running, or jumping. Next one is the environment. So it is the surrounding condition, like the surface you're on, light, temperature, or and obstacles. So next is the emergent property. The actual movements you observe is an emergent property that arise from this dynamic interaction rather than a pre-programmed command from the brain. So this perspective is crucial in fields like physical therapy, sports science, and motor development because it encourages a holistic view of human movements considering all factors that contribute to it.
Interconnected system. When we say interconnected system, it approach to the movement emphasize that the movements are solely controlled by the single hierarchical commands from the brain. Instead, they emerge from the interactional of multiple body systems, like including nervous, vascular, skeletal, and sensory system. This means that the movements are dynamic, process influenced by the feedback loops and interactional between these systems rather than the simply top control. For example, nervous system, when we say nervous system, is including brain, spinal cord, nerves, and it is responsible of receiving sensory information and sending commands to muscles coordinating movements. When we say muscular system, when we say muscular systems, it muscles construct and relax to generate force and movement, working with skeletal systems to achieve various actions. When we say skeletal systems, bones provide the frameworks of movement, working with muscles and joints to create levers and allow for difference of motions. The last one is sensory system. When we say sensory system, sensory is a raptors in the body such as those in the skins and joints provided feedback to the nervous systems about the body, position, movement, and external environment, influencing movement control. Self-organization. When we say self-organization, the theory suggests that these systems spontaneously self-organize to produce efficient and coordinate movement. The concept of self-organization suggests that a system can spontaneously arrange itself to achieve a desired outcome without external control or a centralized plan. This idea often applied to a complex systems like brain or ecosystem proposes that efficient and coordinate behavior can emerge naturally from the interaction and individual components. Let's say emerge order. When we say emerge order, it's self-organization is about emerging of order from local interaction with its systems. And number two is no central control. When we say no central control, it's don't rely a single leader or controller to direct the actions. Like the organization is distributed around the components and decisions are made based on a local information and interaction. The last one is the efficiency and coordination. When we say efficiency and coordination, the process of self-organization can lead to efficient and coordinate behavior by allowing individual components to interact and adapt. The system can achieve a desired outcomes in a robust and flexible manners.
Dynamic system theory emphasizes that constraints including organic, environmental, and task-related factors play a crucial role in shaping movement patterns. These constraints interact and self-organize, leading to spontaneous behavior, particularly in the context of motor development. The constraint-led approach derived from DST highlights how manipulating this constraint can influence skill acquisition and performance. Organic constraint. These are individual-related factors, including physical attributes, height, strength, and functional aspects like cognition, abilities, and previous experience. Environmental constraints. These encompass the physical and social surrounding where the activity takes place, such as the space available, the presence of teammates, and even the social dynamics of the group. Thus, constraint. This refers to the characteristic of the specific task or activity, including role, equipment, and the playing area. Interaction and self-organization. VST proposed that these constraints interact and self-organize, leading to the emergence of movement patterns. Rehabilitation. The constraint approach has also been applied in rehabilitation where intervention can focus on identifying the addressing compromise dynamic resources to facilitate more normal movement pattern. Then, the statement is a general principle in many theories related to motor control and learning, highlighting the crucial role in both variability and adaptability in how systems, including the human body, learn and respond to changing conditions. Variability in movement. The statement refers to the natural variation that occur in movement patterns across multiple repetition of the same task, even when an individual tries to perform the same movement identically. There are subtle differences. Adaptability as a response to change. Adaptability refers to the ability of a system, an individual, to adjust its behavior and responses to changing environment or task demands. The connection, variability in movement is linked to a CNS mechanism that facilitates adaptability by allowing for variation in movement. Individuals can explore different motor solutions and refine their movement according to environmental demands. Significance, the ability to adapt to changing a condition is crucial for everyday tasks, support, and even occupational performance. Variability in movements allows for more robust and resilient movement patterns.